High school baseball season is here. We'll blaze into Southland Academy baseball right after this on the Integrity Sports Podcast.
Welcome to the Integrity Sports Podcast, covering local sports in the Southwest Georgia area, creating content that is factual, positive, and informative, promoting efforts by athletes, coaches, sports administrators, and sports personalities. Thanks for making the Integrity Sports Podcast a part of your weekly routine. Now here's your host, Tim Estes.
Hello and welcome into this week's episode of the Integrity Sports Podcast. Thank you for making us a part of your weekly routine. We're going to start by thanking our premier sponsor, Harper's Tree and Stump Removal. If you have any tree trimming, tree removal, or stump removal needs, Harper's Tree and Stump Removal has you covered. Give Keith a call at 229-314-2048 or at 229-938-2412. Since day one, Harper's Tree and Stump Removal is proud to sponsor the Integrity Sports Podcast. Last week, we were joined by Sly County head coach Chuck Cheek. This week, we're going to continue our tour of high school baseball by bringing in the head coach of Southland Academy, Coach Blaze Hargrove. Coach, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Coach. Appreciate it.
Blaze, I know just kind of following you guys as basketball was just getting started, you got off to a little bit of a slow start at 1-2, but looking here lately, I see where you've won the last 3 out of your 4, so maybe they're getting their baseball legs under them a little bit. Tell me a little bit about your 2026 squad.
Yes, sir. Well, in baseball, staying in a good rhythm and things like that always help. Swinging the bats, throwing strikes, making plays. You want to stay constant and keep getting better, and that's what we've been able to do. We started off, we lost a really a high-scoring affair to Westfield, but we fought and we swung the bat pretty well against a good team. And then we kind of had a letdown game against Marion. We lost 8-3, but the main thing in that game, I think, was the pitching kind of let us down a little bit. We gave them too many free bases, and since then, we have figured that out a little bit. We're starting to pitch to contact more. We're making plays defensively, and we're putting together good at bats, good team at bats, and maybe not swinging for the fence as much as we had in the past. And it's really showing, and the guys are doing a good job of being coachable and getting better, and just super excited where we're at right now.
Blaze, as you look at your region, and I know that's something that you don't have to concentrate as much on anymore because of the rating system, but still, you want to win your region. You know these teams pretty well by now. Tell me a little bit about the region and who are those teams that you're probably going to have to compete really hard to be at the top of that region.
Well, the last few years, Southwest Georgia out of Damascus, they have kind of ran the region, and they've had really good teams for the past several years, and that's the same case this year. They have a really top-of-the-line starter who brings it up there really well. He's tough to hit, and so if he's on, he's going to be a tough challenge. And then we have Sherwood Christian and Georgia Christian in the region, and Georgia Christian we split with last year. Sherwood we were able to take 2 of them from last year. This year we've only played the 1 region game. We were able to take care of business against Sherwood. They had 1 inning that kind of imploded on them, but other than that, they're a really improved team. They are getting better. You can see it in their other games, and there's really not a easy route in the region. You have to show up and perform. Georgia Christian's got some good arms. Sherwood's got some good arms, and so does Southwest Georgia. So if you had to say, I'm sure the other coaches would agree, Southwest Georgia is the favorite. Everybody's trying to knock them off.
Absolutely. We're talking with Blaze Hargrove, head baseball coach at Southland Academy. I want to thank our friends over at Carter's Fried Chicken for being one of our sponsors today. Carter's is located at 206 Tripp Street in Americus. Owner Mike Shattles and his staff have been feeding Southwest Georgia for more than 30 years. They offer daily lunch specials featuring baked or fried chicken, vegetables, and the best desserts in town, and they do it all at an affordable price. Carter's Fried Chicken is a sponsor of all of our local area teams and would like to wish Southland, Sly County, Sumter County, and Furlough Charter the best of luck in this baseball season. Go by and see Mike and his staff at Carter's Fried Chicken. Blaze, let's get on to a little bit about last year's team. I know you took over a program and you kind of wanted to start putting your stamp on it. Now here in year 2 as the head coach, do you feel a little more comfortable in that role? And let's take a deeper dive into this about where you see the program going.
Well, yes. Being a former player and knowing what the history is like at Southland Academy, I want to get back to where everybody, when they see Southland on the schedule, they know they're in for a tough ball game. I want the IQ level, the ability to adapt to different adversity and different circumstances, and just be able to kind of roll with the punches and know that you're in for a fight when you see Southland on your schedule.
Yeah, and as you look down the road, Blaze, I know as a head coach, you're always looking at what's coming down the pipeline. And you guys have always had a pretty good C-team program. That's the middle school age, that 7th and 8th grade class. Sometimes you may even look back into the elementary school levels. What do you see coming down the road over the next few years at Southland?
Well, I'm really excited about where it's at. Now, this year we do have 6 seniors on the team, so I know next year it's going to be a lot of positions up for taking. The middle school is doing a really good job. I just was at the game yesterday. They lost a hard-fought game to Deerfield, and they, like a lot of games, when you come up on the short end of it, one bad inning, and it was a couple defensive plays that cost them. And I think right now they've lost 4 games, but they're close games, and the other team's records are 11-0 or 7-2 or something like. They're facing some good competition, and they're just coming up short. But facing that adversity, losing a close game like that a lot of times helps you prepare better than winning 15-0 against somebody. And so I know that really, 11th grade down, there's probably at least 4 or 5 athletes in every grade that are good baseball players. So it is a really promising thing, but it's also kind of nerve-wracking because there's only 9 positions. And I'm going to have some tough decisions to make in the future. And a lot of times that they work themselves out. There's not going to be 20 or 25 guys competing for those 9, but as of right now, it looks that it might be that way, and that's going to be tough pill to swallow for some people who are really good athletes, but they're just not able to crack the lineup.
Blaze, last week we talked with Chuck Cheek from over at Sly County. I know you're friends with that whole staff over there. And one of the things he mentioned I wanted to ask you about, you think back to that team that your brother-in-law coached in rec ball that won the state championship as 12-year-olds. That group, some of those are now 9th graders, others are 8th graders. About half of that crowd was Sly County kids, half of them were Southland kids. So you've got those guys coming up. You got to be excited about that real young group that in the next year or 2 really will play a role in your program.
That's right. Because of doing that and because of winning at that level, you know that they're battle tested. You know that they know what it takes to win. It would be great. I'm sure Coach Cheek would agree. It'd be great if all of them could be on the same team because they've already done it before. But
yeah,
they've kind of split, and each of us get a handful of really good ball players, and hopefully, they're able to, get some guys in the other grades around them and build and mold them to the level of play that they are able, have already reached, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. We're talking with Blaze Hargrove. Hey, let me encourage you, go out and watch some high school baseball in our area. Uh, really good programs here with coaches that have high levels of baseball IQ. We want to encourage you to get out and support these young people. Our show today is also brought to you by Marty McDonald State Farm Insurance. They're located at 925 Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard in Americus. Go by and see Marty, Mary Lynn, Blake, or any of their staff and let them discuss your insurance needs with you. They can even do the famous discount double check. That ensures you're receiving all of the savings available to you. Thanks again to Marty McDonald. You can reach them at 928-3686 or look them up on Facebook. And always remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Blaze, we hadn't talked yet about your staff, and you and I haven't had a lot of conversation this baseball season leading up. So give me an idea who's on your staff and kind of what their responsibilities are.
Well, this year, the returning coach from last year is Tyler Kennedy. He's a former player for Southland, and he played 4 years at South Carolina Beaufort. And he has a motor for baseball. He loves it. He loves being around it. Loves being around the guys. He has been a lifesaver as far as helping get in the field ready and things like that. He's come on part time for the school, and he's saved me countless hours. And with the new life change that I have just came into about with a new baby, he's really saved me a lot of time on the field. And so great coach, great guy. And he kind of handles hitting, and he was a catcher, so he kind of handles that part. I played a lot of positions, but I never played catcher, so he really helps me out in that aspect. And then Coach Jones, he's the football coach, but he played college baseball. A lot of people maybe don't know that, but he has come on, and he's been a great addition. He built a good relationship with the players. Most of them played football, so most of them already have a great amount of respect for him and things like that. But he's come on, and he's given them a new life, a new outlook on things. He's got a lot of funny sayings and things that they may have never heard before. Some of them I've never heard, and but it just some old school sayings, baseball sayings, and it helps keep them focused and things like that. And like I say, I really like where the staff is and kind of our roles. And I was kind of preparing for missing a few games because of our new baby. And so I told Coach Jones, go to third base. TK going to go to first. I'm going to kind of manage it in the dugout as a major league manager would do or whatever.
Yeah.
I want y'all to be comfortable if I miss time. And we won. And so when I came back, I had to keep it the same. That's also why I'm rocking the mustache as well. I had to change the look. And as the old funny saying is, I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious.
Yeah.
And so we had to keep that going. And so of course the guys have a good time with it. And Coach Jones said the reason we're winning right now is because of the third base coaching. And so hey, as long as we're doing it, I'm all on board. I'm all about the team. So it's a lot of fun.
Coach, one of the things I wanted to talk about, and I don't know if you're even fully aware of everybody in AA right now, but folks my age, maybe even a little younger than me, remember all the teams in AAA and the GIAA. And a few years ago, with reclassification, Southland was placed in the AA classification. Really good football. We know that. We saw that this past football season. I'm assuming it's pretty much the same way in baseball. But as you look at the full state of Georgia in GIAA, who are some of those teams in Double A that you know are going to be that Final Four, that Final Eight? Who's really good in baseball?
Well, the team that everybody is trying to find a way to knock off is Gatewood out of Eatonton, Georgia. They have
Yeah,
a really good program up there. The coach is a former major leaguer, and he's just got a really good program from pitching to hitting, and got some really good athletes. They played Southwest Georgia, who's in our region, for the state championship last year,
that's
and
right.
so that's another team that everybody's looking at. But there's a lot of I won't say change, but up and down amongst the other. But like Windsor this year, they're doing a really good job. They're a team out of Macon. Um, uh, Probably I'm trying not to forget anybody. But
What about some of those
Gatewood's
schools that
main
were so good in like football, the over in Sandersville and kind of that area? Do they have good
Brentwood.
baseball over
Yes,
there?
yes, yeah. Brentwood has a really good team as well. I looked at them. We don't have them on the schedule, but I looked at them the other day. They took two from somebody the other day that I was like, okay, that they're going to be good at baseball just like they were at football and basketball.
Yeah. You know, when you talk about smaller schools like a Southland Academy, you really have to have all of your athletes. And usually, if a team's really good in one sport, they're pretty competitive in the others as well, aren't they?
Absolutely. The athletes a lot of times they come through as in waves like that, and you normally have anywhere from 3 to 6 people that play multiple sports and compete at a high level at multiple sports. And the teams that are able to, keep those ones together and continue to form that bond, those are normally why they're successful.
Our friends at Custom Auto Sales at 907 Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard in Americus are a sponsor this week of the Integrity Sports Podcast. The owners are Lance and Jessica Stick. You may know them because they've been fixing your ride for 25 years. Now they want to help you buy one. They have added major banks for better finance situations. They can handle any credit situation at Custom Auto Sales. You can reach them at 924-5558 or check them out online at customperformanceauto.com. It's tax season. Lance and Jessica have got a car load, just a lot full of nice vehicles. Go by there and see Custom Performance Auto, and they'll take care of you. Coach Hargrove, as we wrap this thing up today, you just briefly mentioned about some changes in your family. I want to give you a chance to talk about that. Last time I had you on, we talked about what a legacy really your whole family is. Your mom, your dad, you've got two sisters that are just neck deep into Southland Academy. I know you've got two nephews now that are big athletes that are coming up through the system. And you've got a great wife and two great kids now. Talk about that family and what a support system they are.
Well, you're correct. They big time supporters. It's if you see a Southland event happening, a lot of times you see my parents there. They kind of instill that in the their three children, and then we've kind of taken it from there. But they are ultimate supporters. They'll call and give me a hard time on losses, and they'll call and give me a hard time on wins, and I appreciate that immensely. They keep me level headed. But my from my sisters to my brother-in-laws, one of them is really helping with the middle school baseball program, and he coached the 12U champions. They're big time supporters. We call and feed off of each other. Sisters are always there. My wife being just always willing to come and support, and she was it's funny, we had the baby last Wednesday. On Tuesday she was at the game, and she's always there bringing little man around, and the little girl obviously hasn't made a trip yet, but I'm sure it won't be long.
Tell me about your little girl. What's her name and what did she weigh? I don't mean to put you on the spot there. I can't remember what my kids weighed, but you probably know that by now.
That's right. It's fresh. So her name is Shelby Blair, and she weighed 6 pounds 14 ounces.
All
And
right.
March 11th was her birthday, and like I say, my wife made it look easy. She's a warrior, and like I say, both of them are doing great right now. This week they went for their week checkups, and everything is aligning in the right direction. And little man is actually doing a really good job with having to share the attention now. He's doing a really good job. He's being sweet to her and adjusting very well.
That's awesome. We're glad to hear it, Blaze. And man, I sure appreciate you joining me. We hope that you have enjoyed this episode of the Integrity Sports Podcast. Let me encourage you to get out and support Coach Blaze Hargrove and the Southland Academy Raider baseball team. Coach, when we get close to playoff time, I hope you'd be willing to come back and maybe do a joint thing with all the teams in our area is what I'm looking at now, and having those coaches on to kind of give us a preview of the playoffs. We do want to wish you the best of luck as this season progresses. It's always fun to have you.
Well, thank you, Coach. I appreciate it. Yeah, please come out and support the guys. They're putting in a lot of hard work. We do have a couple home games next week. One of them is against Southwest Georgia next Friday, and like I say, that'll be a good test. And then we have spring break, and then the rest of the season to look forward to. So if you get a chance, come out and support us. We appreciate it.
And we want to thank you for making the Integrity Sports Podcast part of your weekly routine. Go to our YouTube page and hit the subscribe button for us. No matter what platform you're watching on today, make sure and like and share the video. We are on week 17 of at least 3,000 views per week. So the show's really growing, and we appreciate you for that. Thanks again for our sponsors, Harper's Tree and Stump Removal, Carter's Fried Chicken, Custom Auto Sales, and Marty McDonald State Farm Insurance. For my friend Blaze Hargrove, I'm Tim Estes. Thanks for watching. So long, everyone.